There's no doubt that Tesla is still the leader of electric vehicles going into 2023, but they aren't perfect. And in fact, Tesla vehicles are missing a lot of amazing features that some other electric vehicles have. And after owning multiple Teslas over the last 4.5 years, this is my ultimate list of features that Tesla needs to add soon to help them continue to be the leader in the EV space. Now, I have one of the first Model 3s from 2018, and it came with a manual trunk. But when Tesla came out with the Model Y in 2020, they gave it a powered liftgate, and not too long after that, they decided to give automatic trunks to all the vehicles, including the Model 3 as well. So now every Tesla vehicle has a powered trunk. Unfortunately, no Tesla vehicle has a powered front trunk, or Frunk, which is quite mind-blowing to me. You would think at least the high-end vehicles like the Model S and Model X would have it, but none of them currently do, which I think is an obvious next step for Tesla since there are already third-party power front kits that are very popular, and since other electric vehicles such as Rivian have this feature, and it seems extremely useful. Now, batteries are the most expensive part of an electric vehicle, and most people probably only drive about an hour per day, so for the majority of the time, that big battery, which is an asset, is just sitting there in the driveway or in the parking lot not being used. But with bidirectional charging, the vehicle battery could act as a power source for many different things, or even as a backup battery for your home. It can feed energy back to the power grid, it could provide resiliency for power outages, and even reduce your electricity bill. Unfortunately, Tesla sells Powerwalls for this function, so it would be competing with their own product essentially, but many experts say that bidirectional charging is the future, and even if Tesla owner has a Powerwall, with bidirectional charging, the car could provide energy to the Powerwall during outages that last a long time. Now, many electric vehicles already have bidirectional charging, so it would be nice to see Tesla introduce this, and if they don't give us bidirectional charging, at least give us a power outlet, just one in one of the cars. That'd be nice. The biggest head scratcher for most Tesla owners is why there's a Tidal streaming option in the car, but not Apple Music, when Apple Music is obviously the much more popular music streaming service with nearly 100 million subscribers. And it's not just Apple Music that many Tesla owners are pleading for, but more specifically Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which many other EVs use as their main software, and a lot of people seem to like it. But Tesla has always chosen to put their own custom software on their vehicles. And with Apple CarPlay, you can view your phone home screen and apps on the larger touchscreen in the car and use apps natively on the car's screen, which obviously gives you way more variety of apps that are accessible in the car. Now, other than Apple Music, many Tesla owners want to have CarPlay to use the popular navigation apps, Waze, and a better route planner, which are two of my favorites as well. Unfortunately, I don't think Tesla will ever allow Apple CarPlay in their vehicles, but I think there is a chance that we see Apple Music come as a streaming option in the car at some point in the future. One of my personal most requested features is the 360-degree bird's eye view visual, which would be a huge benefit when trying to park or pull out of tight spaces, especially since Tesla recently removed all their ultrasonic sensors from their vehicles. Now, the 360-degree bird's eye view feature is not hard to do, and many cars that aren't even considered luxury have this feature. The only problem is Tesla vehicles do not have a front bumper camera, which this feature heavily relies on. Now, Teslas have front-facing cameras, but they're on the windshield. Now, it seems like Tesla, who is usually considered a leader in vehicle technology and software, should absolutely have this feature, and I've been begging for it for a while, so hopefully they can manage to give it to us without requiring a physical front bumper camera. Before we continue, I want to tell you about something meaningful to me. 5 years ago, I proposed to my girlfriend, now wife, in Scotland, and it was one of the most amazing trips of my life. Scotland is so beautiful, and today's sponsor, Established Titles, is a fun and novel way to preserve natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. Now, through them, you can purchase souvenir plots of land in Scotland, which, based on historic Scottish customs, allows you to call yourself a lord or lady. A title pack gives you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with a unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, and an official certificate with a crest. I dedicated this one to my dad, who passed away unexpectedly last month. He was my best friend, and I miss him dearly, and I know he would have gotten a kick out of this because some of our ancestors were Scottish. Established Titles also plants a tree with every order, and they work with global charities such as One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future. You could even officially include the title Lord or Lady on a credit card or plane ticket, for example. It makes for a really fun last-minute gift, and Established Titles is actually running a massive Black Friday sale right now. Plus, if you use the code ANDY10, you can get an additional 10% off. And the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot. Go to establishedtitles.com/Andy10 to get your gifts and help support my channel. Now, one of the most common features you see on any car from the past 10 years is side mirror blind spot lights, and Teslas actually do not have these. Now, even though the Tesla touchscreen does show a small alert visual when something is close to one of the sensors, it's not very obvious or noticeable, and it's counterintuitive to look at the screen to the right if you are worried about your blind spot to the left. But I think a software fix could easily help with this. Tesla could add a larger blinking alert on the screen, sort of like the large blinking blue alert that Autopilot does when it doesn't detect a hand on the wheel. But the blind spot alert could be blinking orange instead of blue, for example. I think that would help out a lot since it seems extremely unlikely for Tesla to put side mirror alert lights on any of their vehicles. Now, Tesla's built-in video surveillance system is called Sentry Mode, and it's one of the best features of having a Tesla. It utilizes all exterior cameras to record video clips if motion is detected, and you can play back the videos on the vehicle touchscreen. You can even view the live camera feeds from your phone, which is awesome. However, it can be even better by sending mobile app alerts whenever a Sentry Mode clip is triggered. This would allow even better security to know if something is happening in real time instead of waiting until you return to the vehicle to find out someone peed on your car. And since Teslas are already good at detecting and labeling objects for their full self-driving software, another big improvement to Sentry Mode would be to have filters when playing back the videos in your vehicle. Have a filter to only show Sentry Mode clips that contain people or cars or animals, for example. That would take it to the next level, and the dashcam feature is similar to Sentry Mode too, but it records constant video while the car is driving. And one feature I'd love to have is the current date, time, and speed embedded on that dashcam footage. I got a speeding ticket a few years ago, and I swear the cop was claiming I was going faster than I was actually going, and it would have been nice to have that speed embedded on the dashcam footage to see who was right and who was wrong. I think he was exaggerating a tiny bit. Now, one of my wife's biggest complaints about our Model 3 and Model Y are how hot the seats get because they have no airflow, especially in the summertime. I know the more expensive Model S and Model X vehicles have ventilated cooling seats, but I think all Tesla models should have this feature, especially given the price increases over the last year. Many other electric vehicles that are cheaper than the Model Y have ventilated seats, so I think it's only fair to ask for this in the Model 3 and the Model Y. When I test drove the Plaid Model S a couple of years ago, I used the ventilated seat feature, and it was a game changer. So I'd love to see Tesla release that to all the models. Speaking of my wife, sometimes when we travel, she has to feed our daughter in the back seat of our Model Y. But if I leave the car, the climate shuts off and one of us has to pull out our phone and turn on the climate control on the mobile app. I would love if the vehicle automatically detected if a person or passenger is still in the car, either by the seat occupancy sensor or the interior cabin camera, so that it could allow the climate and the touchscreen to stay on even if the driver exits the car. This would also allow for one of the most basic features that is currently missing, which is the ability to turn off the vents for either of the front seats. Right now, you cannot turn off the vents on the driver or passenger side if the climate control is on, which is crazy. Sometimes I don't want the fan blowing on me while my passenger does, and vice versa. It would also be nice for the vehicle to automatically turn off seat heaters in seats that it doesn't detect a passenger. This would help conserve battery if you ever forget to turn off the seat heaters, which is quite common. Now, right now, Tesla uses their neural network to detect if it's raining or if the windshield is wet in order to activate the automatic wipers. This obviously is not a great solution, especially since the vehicle forces the wipers to be set to automatic when autopilot or even traffic-aware cruise control is engaged. Now, same with the auto high beams. First, I'd love to be able to set wipers and high beams to manual at any time, no matter if autopilot is engaged or not. I'd also love if Tesla gave us standard old dumb cruise control. Right now, the only cruise control is traffic aware, so it slows down and speeds up based on the car in front of you. But sometimes traffic-aware cruise control gets false positives and won't engage due to poor weather, or if the cameras are blinded by the sun, or if there's any other error related to the cameras or autopilot software. Another popular request is for physical controls for the wipers, but I actually think this could be remedied with just a software update by allowing the left stalk button to be pressed in multiple times to activate the wipers. For example, right now, a single press activates one swipe of the wipers. It'd be nice to be able to double press that left stalk button to activate the wipers and keep them on a slow setting, or even triple press that button to set the wipers to a fast setting, because dealing with the touchscreen during a surprise downpour is definitely not fun. And finally, I love if the windows automatically closed if rain was detected. I'd also love to see an option come to the cabin overheat protection setting, so instead of it turning on climate control to keep the interior cool, the vehicle could automatically vent the windows to cool down the interior when no rain is detected. This would allow the interior to at least not get super hot, while also not depleting the battery with the climate control. One of Tesla's unique advantages over other electric vehicles is that the battery automatically preconditions itself when you are navigating to a supercharger. This helps the battery charge faster when you arrive at the charger. However, since Tesla just came out with the CCS adapter, now we can charge our Teslas at non-Tesla fast charging stations, and it would be really nice to have the option to manually precondition the battery for charging at a CCS fast charger to speed up the charging and make it even more convenient. I think it could be easily added via a software update and would be hugely beneficial for people who rely on non-Tesla chargers, especially in the winter. Now, those are all of my most requested features for Tesla vehicles that I hope at least some will come soon via software update. And the more you share this video and these features, the more likely Tesla will notice it and take action, because it's happened before. What other feature do you want to see Teslas get that I didn't mention in this video? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more Tesla and tech videos in the future. My name is Andy. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one.